Hello, YouTube fans. I just wanted to wait until like it got really good. Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown. I'm here to talk about. I just recently saw the movie No One Will Save You. You could say it's kind of reviewish, but I feel like since I already, you know how I am sometimes with these videos. Sometimes I might say it's a review, or sometimes I might just say it. I'm just talking about it. Um, but I just saw the film. So how do I feel about the film right now? But let's talk about the story real quick. The story is that this is girl that is going through basically in a way depression, um mainly because of what happened in her past, and I won't spoil it because I think since this movie just came out, I want you guys to see it. It's actually not a bad movie. It's actually pretty good. It's a fantasy slash mystery movie, and it's an hour and 33 minutes. Before you even think it's long or anything like that, it's literally about to end. I didn't felt that way, but if anyone did felt that way, I'm going to be like, hey, before you know it, it's gone. You know. So the aliens effects in this movie are actually really good. I love that it kind of pays homage also to what's that movie called? Not the day the Earth stood still, man. What is it? What's it called? Damn it. Water of the Worlds. There we go. They remind me the aliens from Water of the Worlds a little bit. Now there's different types of aliens from Water of the Worlds, but you could tell that the way they move and all that, and even their feet, the way their feet look like, kind of reminds you of the aliens from Water of the Worlds. So there is that. And at first, all right, I want to talk about this real quick. This movie doesn't have no dialogue whatsoever. It's all visual. It's all visual. No talking. There might be some like, oh, what the fuck, or stuff like that, But it's not talking. This movie is not a talking movie. And I've been waiting for a movie to do that forever. Literally. And not to say there's not movies out there that are like that. This was a PG-13 movie? The fuck? I'm looking at it right here. Oh, PG-13, my ass. This should have been like at least in rated R, a soft rated R, but still a rated R. Just because what happens in this movie. Um, look, I got 3 stars. Not bad. Let's see. Let me go here. So, okay. Again, I'm not going to go into spoiler territory that much, but I'll say this: there are a few kills in this movie that are actually really good. I like the kills in this movie, to be quite honest with you. It's a nice little, if you ever want to, yeah, some kills might be simple and all that, but sometimes that's what you need. Some nice, simple kills that get the job done. Maybe not something you see like in Freddy or with Jason or Michael, but something that is effective. And that's fine, in my opinion. You don't really, this is not a movie to be creative with your kills. It's just, but I do like the kills that happens in this movie, in my opinion. And there's a part in this movie too that it's almost like this movie does pay homage to what's that movie? The Body Snatchers, and They Live, in my opinion. It's really good. And the fact that the movie barely has any dialogue to begin with is just good. Watch this movie alone just because it has no dialogue. It doesn't. It's all visual. It shows everything that it needs to do for a movie. And you know what? When I saw the way the movie is, and the way they explained it, and the way they showed it too, just by visuals alone, was just perfect. They did an amazing job with that shit, man. Seriously. Um, this is basically a sci-fi movie, but it has some horror elements. I won't consider this movie horror. I mean, for kind of loud right here, they don't even consider it sci-fi here. They say mystery and fantasy. Okay. I guess when we have UFOs, we're gonna call them fantasy now. I thought, oh, this was sci-fi. I would say it's mystery sci-fi. You know, mystery sci-fi, and actually put some horror in there. Mystery sci-fi horror. In my opinion, I think they should change that because calling it fantasy mystery doesn't really convey what the movie is. In my opinion, doesn't give that bite. Basically, once you tell someone that it's like a sci-fi mystery horror, people would be like, oh, okay, 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 all right, you know. Again, it's not like horror, but it's light horror, basically. I mean, it is PG-13 anyways, right? But from what they do is actually not bad. For crying out loud, when the alien's coming after the woman, the way he's running and shit like that, I could see someone be like, oh my god, that's fucking terrifying. Run, you know? Even when I was looking at it, I was just like, run. You know? And there is not a confusing part. I feel like people will get confused in one part of the movie, mainly because it kind of goes around of like, how do I spoil it without spoiling it? You know, it's hard to do that. But there's a part in this movie that where the character and the aliens become content. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm ever going to say. I can't go deeper than that. Because if I say something else than that, which did pop in my head, I'm like, wait, that's kind of spoilers right there if I say that too. So let's just say that. They are content, basically, when, you know, in this movie. It takes a while to get to that point, but when it does, it does. And it makes you think. It makes you think about it. It really does. It makes you think about it even after you watch the movie and everything like that. It makes you think too, like, hey, is she going through this, or is she actually like this, or she's just, you know, befriended some things, you know? I'm not saying she, look, most people are like, oh, that's a spoiler right there. I'm like, but you don't know who she's being befriended of. Just because I say there's aliens doesn't mean that she is being friends with them or some shit like that, you know? So, for crying out loud, I told you there's some kill scenes in this movie, you know? I think the most brutal kill scene is the rock scene. That is brutal. I'm like, oh, God. They don't have to show blood. They don't have to show the impact. All they have to do is show the visual of it. My God, like, I think someone in Hollywood keeps forgetting that sometimes visuals is more, sometimes not showing it is more horrifying than showing it. That's why I feel like this movie should have got a rated R. Because, holy shit. Holy shit, in my opinion. You know? And the character goes through very stressful situations. And at one point in the movie, she's trying to find help. She's trying to find closure. But basically everyone looks at her as like, basically a stranger. So no one doesn't want to help her, you know? And then when she is getting help, it just keeps getting fucked over and fucked over and fucked over, mainly because there's a lot of things happening, obviously. So, again, I don't want to spoil it too much, but I enjoyed this movie. I did. Is it one of those movies that gets me hyped up to the point where I'm like, yeah, it's, you know, this horror stuff is back finally? Nah, you know? Like, you know how I always say that, oh, I wish we had like a new horror icon or some shit like that. You know how I feel with these modern horrors, even if it's PG or rated R. You know how I feel with these modern horror movies. You know, some of them are fine and good and passable. But in my opinion, they don't capture the magic. They don't capture the feel of how these 90s and 80s horror movies used to be, especially from the 70s. Good God. Have you watched some horror movies from the 70s? Good God, compared to now, the fuck? I recently just saw a trailer to the Exorcist movie, the new one. Like, I saw once I saw the trailer for the Exorcist movie, the new one, I'm like, that's Exorcist. They remade it or something like that, or is it a sequel? And it's not you could say it's a sequel, but it's really not. It's just continuation of the whole series, I guess, right? I haven't looked it up. So, all I know is that there is another Exorcist movie coming out. And from what I saw from the trailer, the way they edit it, looks fun. It looks nice. It looks like a nice horror movie. But at the same time, it's going to have that impact as the original. Or not even as the original, doing its own thing, but still having that impact. That's what's missing with horror movies, man. They're not, it feels like they just want to make these horror movies just to get a buck. And I'm just like, where's the passion? Where's the love? Where is it? Where the fuck is it? At least with this movie, I felt it. I did. I felt it. And I was just like, okay, I guess like I said, hey, everything's getting a renaissance now. Why not horror? You know, for kind of loud, we're getting a lot of things that are becoming really good now. It's just that we just had to go through a lot of bullshit. You know, we're still going through a lot of bullshit with some things, but right now that renaissance is still happening. It's seeping through, and people are noticing it, which I love. I love. Really. Look, if we were not, if we were going, if we were not going to go to a renaissance, the Mario movie would have failed. One Piece would have failed. And Twisted Metal would have failed. All right. Most people be like, "Oh, but they would have been successful anyways if the story and the characters were good." I'm like, "Yeah, of course." But look at the '80s. Look how many '80s movies that were cult classics now and bombed in the '80s for no fucking reason, all because the critics talk shit about it and the people at the time didn't give a fuck about it. Now people look back at those movies and be like, yo, why do people talk shit about this? Why people hated it? It's because they were fucking idiots. Sorry, I have to say that because that's one of the reasons why we don't have these type of movies anymore. Sorry. Why do you think when Scott Pilgrim came out and it bombed, now we don't have no movies like that? Sorry. It's a pet peeve of mine. It is. Because there's people out here that are busting their ass, fucking busting their ass to make a good product, and no one doesn't watch their shit. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. And I need to talk about this for this movie, mainly because I don't want it to happen to this movie. You know? It is getting good reviews. You know, what is it? Boots to Reboots just talked about it. I haven't seen his video about it, but I saw the thumbnail of his video, so I might just check his review out after this one to see how he feels about it. But I feel fine with this movie. I had a good time with it. If I look at it in a spiritual enlightenment way, yo, I'll be here literally all day. Because in a spiritual enlightenment way, this movie rocks. This movie rocks in a spiritual enlightenment way. Alright, seriously, holy fucking shit. As a movie, it's good. It's good, you know? I know someone's going to be like, good? That's the same way as bad. I'll be like, calm down, internet. Oh, man. But, yeah. I had fun with this movie. I give it like an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I give it an 8 out of 10. I think the aliens in this movie were great. I think the actress that we stick along with is great. And the backstory and the trauma that she went through and what they show us why she was going through it is great. It's great. It shows it shows to me, it shows a lot of about people, in my opinion. That's what I like about this movie. It shows a lot about people, and yet there's no dialogue at all. It's just visuals and expressions. Yes. Seriously. All right? We this movie needs to be successful so we can get more shit like that. Seriously. I'm dead serious. Because I've always, I'm making my little video game, right? I've always thought of making a game that has no dialogue in it. There's games like that, and I'm sure there's movies like that too. And I'm not talking about silent movies. Don't be a fucking smartass. Seriously. Because half of you guys won't even freaking watch silent movies just because it's silent in black and white. Alright? What, you can't read? If you can't read, just put your imagination into it. You know? That's the best part about these silent movies anyways. You know? But I'm not saying this is a silent movie. It's not. But it really is a good non-talking movie. It really is. It's all about expressions, and it's all about how the characters react to other characters, man. And the environment and shit like that. It's just so good. It's just so good that it does that. And I'm not saying no other movie doesn't do that or anything like that, but this one does it really well. You know? So I highly recommend No One Will Save You. I love that title, by the way. I do. I love that title. And it's true. No one will save you. But, yeah, I give this movie 8 out of 10. Highly recommend it. And what the okay. Hey, look. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 83. IMDb gave it a 6.4 out of 10. Is someone pissing on your shit, IMDb? Like, are you good? Are you good? Seriously. But from what I've been finding out lately, IMDb is acting like an asshole right now for no reason. For no reason whatsoever. They don't do that all the time, but I've been noticing, like, for good stuff that people love, they talking a lot of shit for no reason, or giving ratings that are like, ugh. And I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you? Are you good? Did someone piss in your cereal, or someone beat up your mom or some shit like that? For real. Seriously. Because there was no reason to make a score like that, in my opinion. But hey, people have different opinions with some things, and that's fine. But it's just shocking sometimes when you know something's good and people are like, just because it's good. And I'm like, forget it. This is why we don't have good shit or good movies or good video games or anything like that. I know, it's true. But I just had to mention that with this movie because this movie is good. It does justice, and it brought that out of me when I saw this movie. So I just have to mention it just because the movie brought that out of me when I was watching it, and I just had to discuss it in this video. So I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Be safe, and watch this movie. It's actually pretty good.